Dias, fosse no quadrado.
Today, it's a battle of the museums on the episode, and we're going to two of our favorites. We're going to the Chrysler Museum of Art in Norfolk, Virginia, which was founded with the donation of amazing artwork from the private collection of Walter Chrysler, the auto giant, and it features work from all over the world, about 35,000 pieces of art in this museum, featuring rotating, visiting exhibits, and many well-known pieces. And we're also going to the Rust in Pieces Museum, which is a far contrast, but we're going to take a look at what it means to be innovative and really look at art differently in a state-of-the-art presentation battle between these two amazing museums, sparking up childhood wonder. So let's break out the imaginations and take a look at what we can find in the Chrysler Museum in Norfolk, Virginia. Today we put on our proverbial thinking caps and we explore the Chrysler Museum. So for me, it's my trusty Carhartt thinking cap, but let's go see some amazing artwork at the Chrysler Museum. The glass galleries in the Chrysler Museum was one of my favorites. The world of glass is something you don't really think about a whole lot, but a 3,500-year-old tradition of working with glass. I think I really love glass just because it's such a craftsman's media. Like, it's a hard work. It seems like more of a blue-collar art, so maybe I have a finer appreciation for that. But the museum features artwork or pieces of glass from all over the world. It's really interesting to see the different designs and what pieces look like from various eras from around the world, from the very delicate and elegant to the more utilitarian pieces. I think that's another thing that I really like about glass, is that it always seems purposeful. It's, very rarely just a piece of glass, although we do see some of that. But for the most part, a lot of glass artworks are purposeful. They're designed to be used for something, and it was amazing to get to check out some Tiffany lamps and really cool pieces of art that were designed with purpose. They make things that function better and be more fun and whimsical. Goes in there. And I really love that part of the museum.
I still think it's butter.
It's not butter. It's not
Are they soap dishes?
No. Mom has, I guess, too, but no.
All right, got my thinking cap on. Let's see here. Toothpaste.
No, stay in the food
Is it a pill
category.
holder? Oh, that is food?
It is food. Stay in the food category.
Salt.
Yes,
Really?
it's salt. And do you know
Let's
what these
see.
are? These are cup plates. And then these.
Boston and Sandwich Glass Company.
Yeah. And
Salts.
then,
That's cool.
and then if we come over here, these are all cup plates.
Yeah.
These are all made for cups, and then these are glass panes.
I really felt like it was fun to have some exhibits in the glass area that were you were able to interact with, at least in some way, form, or fashion. So it was fun to walk around, check out the Chrysler Museum. We almost didn't make it. This was on a separate trip, actually, just a few weeks apart, but we almost missed this one.
Man, this is one I definitely wish I had more time for. The Gravedigger Rust in Peace Museum. I was a huge Gravedigger fan as a kid. I got Dennis Anderson's autograph at the Monster Truck at the Oklahoma State Fairgrounds show. And this is breaking my heart not to have time to go to Digger's Dungeon. But gotta keep moving on this one. Don't have time to make it happen. Walk like 50 miles.
Gravedigger, and I'm here to tell you the story about how my dad, Dennis Anderson, created easily the most iconic and feared monster truck ever known, Gravedigger. The way my dad tells the story is that it all started with a tank of gas. Way back in the day, my dad's friend Gary Todd asked him for a ride home from school. And my dad started working at W. Todd Farms. And one morning while he was working in the granary, Gary Todd rolls up in his shiny new truck. And he's giving my dad a hard time about his junk truck he was working on at the time, which was a 1951 Ford truck. And he tells him, Anderson, you don't even need to bring that piece of junk down to the racetrack. And with a few choice words, my dad looks at Gary Todd and he said, Gary Todd, I'm going to take that junk and I'm going to dig you a grave. And from that day on, they called my dad the Gravedigger.
So we're in the American Contemporary and Impressionist section, and I have still not seen Vigo in the big painting in Ghostbusters yet. It's got to be around here somewhere, though.
This truck is known as Grandma Gravedigger. We call her Grandma Gravedigger because she is the first Gravedigger monster truck. Dad had the spooky paint job painted right over top of the old blue and gray. He had it painted by a man named Fred Buman, and it cost my dad $1,500 back in the day to get that spooky paint job. And that made Dad a little nervous because he did not love the spooky paint job as soon as he saw it. But as soon as Fred put that clear coat over it, Dad fell in love. And little did he know that it would be the most iconic paint job in monster truck history.
I have such a hard time with the Renaissance. I know all the Renaissance stuff is like amazingly, I don't know what the word is, but it's just, I guess the skill and ability of those people was amazing. But yeah, all of the works just it seems so sad, and it's not the most fun art.
Yeah, no.
But
This section of the Chrysler Museum was much more appealing to me, though. This was, maybe for the same reasons, this was a section of the Chrysler Museum dedicated to artwork that was part of ceremony or used in cultural traditions. So it highlighted more craftsmanship. I think that's just me. I like that idea. So to take a look at samurai suits and Egyptian sarcophaguses and pieces of art that had been, specifically built to preserve culture and pieces of tradition in somebody's life over time, I think really speaks for the value of that type of art and how we look to it to find inspiration and remember our loved ones or traditional days or events of the past.
Enjoy it.
Dennis Anderson autograph. I have that on her truck on a Dennis Anderson card.
That's cool.
So I've been a Dennis Anderson and a Gravedigger fan since I was old enough to know what a monster truck was. Gravedigger was founded in 1982. I was born in '80, so we're both children of the '80s, we'll say it. But yeah, so many memories for me. Loving monster trucks as a kid. I would just wait. I remember ordering my first VHS cassette that I saw come on an infomercial between episodes of something on TBS, which I think TBS was actually the station where monster trucks would come on. I don't remember if any of you big fans out there will remember Army Armstrong and Awesome Kong and of course Bigfoot and so many other cool trucks that were such a staple for my after school routine. My granny would record those for me if I missed them because I didn't have cable, and I would come home and watch those on VHS and go outside and play with, all of my monster truck toys. And this is such a memorable part of my childhood. My parents were awesome, took me to lots of monster truck shows. I remember just begging. I'd go to the Darryl Starbird car show. If you're from Oklahoma, you might remember the Darryl Starbird car show. I'm not sure if that actually still happens, but they had Monster Vet and a couple of other cool trucks that you didn't quite see everywhere else. So it was really awesome to be here and check out some of the original Gravedigger monster trucks, from the original Blue and Gray to Grandma Digger and Sound Digger that Dennis used to make the famous sound crossing out in the water to set a record. That was a really cool story to hear about in the museum. I'm trying not to spoil all of it in case you ever make it back to the Gravedigger Museum. I actually just kind of forgot about this place. I didn't really think about, this was a trip to the Outer Banks, and I really didn't think about being in Kill Devil Hills area. So I almost missed this. I just drove past it, and if I wouldn't have seen Gravedigger standing on its nose out in front of the museum, I wouldn't have known this was here. But taking a look at the artwork on the side of Gravedigger, I think it's really cool to think about not only craftsmanship of the truck itself, but that story of $1,500 for somebody to paint this on the side of Gravedigger and it be so well recognized. Comparing it to the Chrysler Museum and thinking about state of the art, I can't imagine that there would be too many people in modern culture who might recognize some famous works of art more often than the artwork of Gravedigger. So I think that really says something about what we think of art and how it impacts us and how we recognize it with something. I think unfortunately sometimes it's commercialized, and maybe Gravedigger is a bit commercialized, but you know what, it still makes people smile whenever they see it. So I think that's a pretty fascinating thing to think about in the art world, and how artwork impacts culture, whether it's on a sarcophagus from ancient times or whether it's on the side of a modern monster truck that we all fanfare over. Next, we were off to the Perry Glass Studio at the Chrysler Museum. Really loved the Perry Glass Studio. Awesome to get to watch some folks work with glass and get to interact and hear some of how they do what they do.
Part-time, full-time? She's a staff member here.
Okay.
And I am an apprentice here. So I'm actually here as what's called their assistantship program, which is a post-bachelor kind of program. Most of the folks who come through it have just graduated college and are looking to change things. I am a little different in that regard. Yeah. I work in a factory instead of going to school to learn glass. And became federally certified in glass blowing, and instead of a degree, they accepted that. So opposed to working on product and just cranking out production, I get to be here learning from all these different artists and really starting to stretch my art legs.
That's
nice.
Cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome,
people
man.
from all over the world come and do this.
Sure. Yeah, well, thanks for letting us watch for a minute.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
if
very cool.
You guys are local, we have all kinds of classes here as well that like anyone can come take a part in.
Yeah.
If you're looking at like wanting to do furnace class like this, or flame working, or like stained glass, or anything like that.
Yeah.
For all ages.
That's awesome.
So the youngest age is 5.
Okay.
Yeah, the art history of the Chrysler Museum is undeniable, but as far as just fun and interesting artwork goes, the Perry Glass Studio here is definitely my faves, man. Just the overall craftsmanship, artisan, hard work, sweat, and overall imagination that goes into this type of art is just really, really cool. Can't imagine being able to produce this cool stuff. You can come back sometime and check out the actual studio. They have some really cool events here. There was Glass After Dark, where they have glass blowing and live music at the same time. You can come and just hang out. It's got to be super cool and fun. There's so much imagination that you can find in works of art that incorporate glass, especially these that are just done specifically really without purpose. Cool, huh? You know, you can tell it's just imagination, fun play creation that is meant to inspire. And back at the Digger Museum, you know, I think it's more of the same. It's meant to inspire, bring a smile to people's faces, but it's also you know, easy to look at it as innovation and being something that is sort of tip of the iceberg for you know, I guess you could call it an industry, but it's something special. It keeps kids playing and interacting, and it keeps, you know, me as an adult playing just as much as the kids. I would gladly hang out at this place all day long, and would love to get to, you know, interact more with these trucks and people that, you know, go into arenas and, you know, perform. They are performers with these things. Each driver has different styles, different personalities. Those come out in what they do. You could compare it to maybe what I would call a lesser art form of pro wrestling, but to me it's much more than that. It's just so much fun. Cool. The energy to feel the rumble of these trucks at 1,500 horsepower, crushing cars, man, brings back good feelings. I think that's going to do it for today. I hope you enjoyed this little fun comparison of the Gravedigger Museum and the Chrysler Museum of Art in Norfolk, Virginia. Both well worth visiting in their own right. This is a silly little adventure for this one, but I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, and come see us on the channel. We're a couple of retired park rangers, or we didn't retire, but we're former park rangers going out to have fun, enjoy life, and take a different viewpoint on public places, people, and spaces. So come visit us. Please subscribe.